Well, hi everyone. All right, I kind of skipped the lesson. This is all happening after your quiz here. I hope your quiz online went well. But we are multiplying and dividing rational expressions. That probably could have come before adding and subtracting. So I think what actually is going to happen, you're going to see that things are easier in this lesson than they were in the previous lessons when we were adding and subtracting. Because the one thing you really don't need is common denominator. You can just multiply top by top over bottom times bottom. And with division, just don't forget to flip this one and then just multiply. So the steps we're going to do is factor all the numerators and denominators if they can be factored. We're going to flip the second expression and rewrite division as multiplication only for division. Multiply, we don't. This is only for division. Multiply, we'll leave alone as far as the way it's written. We will cancel out the common factors from the top and bottom. Anywhere on the top with anywhere on the bottom. If there are common factors, we're going to cancel them out. And then when we multiply the first numerator times the second numerator over the first denominator over the second denominator. So example 1, I'm going to factor. When I factor, I'm going to go clear. I'm going to think factor tree here. So 12, I think we've done 12 enough. I'm going to go 2 times 2 times 3 times C times C times C times D times D. I'm expanding this thing all the way. And 21, I'm going to go 3 times 7 and then times A times B. 14, that is 2 times 7 times A times B. 8 is 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times C times D. So I have factored it out completely there. And now I'm going to start canceling. I'll cancel this 2 with this 2. I'll cancel this 2 with this 2. I will cancel this 3 with this 3. I'll cancel this C with this C. This C will cancel with this C. There's no more C's on the bottom. There is a D here and a D here. Let's work over with this 2. This 2 I'm canceling with this 2. This 7, I have a 7 over here. Hey, I can do something with that A and that A. There's no more A's on the bottom, but there is a B here. Well, it looks like everything is gone on the bottom. So it's over 1, which just means whatever our numerator is what our answer is. I see a C, I see a D, and I see an A. So I'm going to write this as A, D, C. This times this is this. A whole lot simpler, huh? Alright, let's go to the next example. Now the first thing I'm going to do is flip the second one. I got 12 x to the 4th y to the 2nd over 40 a to the 4th b to the 4th. I don't change that one. I am going to rewrite this one though. I'm going to put 16 a to the 2nd x over 6 x to the 2nd y to the 4th. Alright, 12, 2 times 2 times 3, x times x times x times x, y times y, over, now 8 times 5, that's 2 times 2 times 2, that's the 8, and then the times 5, and then the A, and B, 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 B. I'm not writing all those times out all the time. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. And then A times X. So here's my 16, here's my A squared, here's my X. This is 2 times 3 for the 6. And X times X, and then the Y's. 2, 3, 4 of them. Alright. Let's just start crossing stuff off. 2 and 2, cross off. 2, 2. I got a 3 over here. I'm going to cross that off. X. I have an X here. I got an X here. Okay, I think I'm out of X's on the bottom. I am not out of y, so I'm going to cancel that y out with that y and that one with that one. Now I'm to this 2. Cancel this 2 with this 2. No more 2's on the bottom. Nope. I got a 2 here and a 2 here. So I did have a 2 down there. Okay, now there's no more 2's. There is an A here and an A here. I got an A I can cancel with this A. Am I out of X's? Looks like I'm out of X's on the bottom. So, what do we got? Let's see, X and X and X. And 2 times 2 is 4. X, X, X is X to the third. So I'm going to write 4X to the third. And then I've got this 5. I've got A squared. 1, 2, 3, 4. B to the fourth. Y squared. So there's my answer. Okay. Third example. Now the factoring. We have like binomials and trinomials. We're going to have to factor those. Okay, 8x minus 20. Looks like 4 will go into 8x and 4 will go into 20. So I'm going to use greatest common factor and go 4 times 2x minus 5. Okay. Okay, multiplies. I'm looking at the denominator. To negative 35 adds to 2. Looks like that would be 7 and negative 5. So x squared plus 7x. Show you what I'm doing here. I'll do all the factoring down here. X squared plus 7x minus 5x minus 35. Okay, GCF here, that's x and x plus 7. GCF here looks like negative 5, and then x plus 7 again. So, when I write that, I'm going to write x minus 5 here, and x plus 7 here. And let's look at x squared minus 7x plus 10. And I need to multiply to 10 and add to negative 7, and that looks like negative 5 and negative 2 to me. X squared minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. X is the GCF of x squared and negative 5x. So x times x minus 5 looks like 2. I'm going to go negative 2. Whenever this is negative, I'm going to factor out the negative. And then x and negative 2 times negative 5. And then if I write down that answer, I'll do it up here. I'd write x minus 2 for this part, and then the common part is x minus 5. Now, I want to look at 4x squared minus 16 when we factor. 4 goes into that. That's x squared minus 4. If I take 4 out of each of there. And then if I go x squared minus 4, that's x minus 2 and x plus 2. That's a difference of squares factoring. I'm hoping you're recognizing. 4 and then x minus 2 and x plus 2. And now we just start canceling stuff. But you got to change colors before you do that. So we'll cancel out the x minus 2's. Cancel out the x minus 5's. Any other common factors? The answer is no. We can't just cancel out those x's or anything like that. Oh, yes, there is. There's a 4 here and a 4 here. We can do that. Anything that's factored can be canceled with anything else that's factored from top to bottom. So what do we got? We got 2x minus 5 on the top. Oops, I didn't mean to put parentheses there. Doesn't hurt anything. I'm going to put the x plus 7. I do mean to do it here. And I'm going to just leave it factored. Okay, wait for this to come into focus here a little bit. There we go. And leave that as my final answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more example, but I'm going to do it on the next video.